Okay, what we have here is the Bedini Pulser that we designed off of the inspiration from his patent. The drawing for this pulser is on our website. There'll be a link to this video here in the bottom. Anyhow, what we did today, we put a this here is a DC amp meter. This is an AC amp meter. The 120 volts is just the power supply coming from the utility grid, but the 12 amps is the AC watts going into this. Now this is the DC volts going into the HHO cell. We're going to turn it over to the AC, and you're going to see it's about 28 volts of AC going into it. If you multiply that times 12, so that would be 28.2 times 12. It's about 330 amps or watts of AC going into this HHO generator right over here. And the total watts going into this system here, this is 386 watts. That's powering up this Variac, which is powering up this battery charger, which has got a nice heavy-duty filter and diode AC to DC system on it. So this is the pulsar going into the HHO cell, and we're going to put an amp meter, AC amp meter, just to double check. I can see that Klein, that's a CL200. We're going to put that on here and see what it says. It's about 11.6, which is about close to what this other one says over here. Anyhow, we're running about 226 degrees on the top of the sand heater. It's been running at this setup here for about a half hour. This thing was running over 200 degrees up at 21 inches from the bottom. It's a little cooler now. The odd thing is, so if we do the math here, we're basically doing 3.23 volts DC times about 8.4 amps, about 100 some watts of DC. And it's not very efficient as far as the AC to DC, but the AC watts, yeah, what do we get here? Yeah, we had 29 volts of AC times 13 amps, about 377 watts. We were doing about 407 AC watts to the battery charger, and it come out about 92% efficient, versus the DC efficiency was like down to 50-some%, which is not very good. But what I'm saying is 112 watts is powering up that HHO cell and getting about 270 degrees at the top of that sand heater. Originally we were running with the old PWM that we got with the system, we were running like 309 degrees and about 28 amps. It was about 619 AC watts input, so it's pretty close to what 600 some watts of AC input, versus we're only doing 100 watts of DC now with this new system. So it's got the internal oscillator going on from the original Bedini patent, and we're still waiting for designing a better amplifier to amplify a pulse generator. We burned out the generator, we got to rebuild that thing, send it to the shop, haven't rebuilt it, and we're still designing a more durable amplifier so we can pulse this thing about 300 hertz, which seems to be the best efficiency. We were turning 3 volts in about 12 volts here a few weeks ago before we burned stuff out. So in the meantime, we got the amp meter so we can kind of have an idea of what is actually going into this cell. And there you have it.